My name is John Summers, and I'm a part of the Just for Kids Transportation Group here in St. John's.
And Charlie Smallwood, member of the Just for Kids Transportation Group in St. John's as well.
Charlie, when did this convoy get started?
About 19 years ago right now. It started with Wilbur Collins, actually, from out in Central, who started it about, like I said, 19 years ago.
And is this a provincial convoy, or is it just local to St. John's?
Provincial convoy right now. It started off locally. It's just in the St. John's area back some years ago. And in recent times, Marvin Way has joined in with in Cornerbrook, doing a convoy over there as well, which is done on the Saturday of the telethon, and ours in St. John's is done on the Sunday.
And John, why was this convoy necessary? Why did the truckers feel this was a good thing to do?
Well, Brian, at the time when all of this started, it was a pretty rough time in the transportation industry. This is going to be deja vu, but fuel was rising. There was a lot of discontent. Truckers weren't treated with respect and all that kind of stuff. Same thing that's going on today. But what it was, Wilbur brought it up at a meeting, and he said, look, maybe we should do something positive here, and turn this around. So what we did, we chose the Janeway because there's not a family, I don't think, in Newfoundland and Labrador that hasn't used the Janeway at one time or another. And we figured that would be our charity of choice, and we just picked it up and ran with it from there.
And Charlie, what's the motivation for keeping this going 19 years?
Motivation is how much the trucking industry gives back and supports the children of our province. To get, from what we've been told by the Janeway Foundation, some of the significant pieces of equipment that's required so our children can have the best care possible.
We spoke with Phyllis Kinsman at the Janeway Foundation to get her take on what the convoy means to the Janeway Children's Hospital.
The Teddy Bear Convoy is back after being virtual for 2 years, and we couldn't be more excited about it. Just for Kids Transportation Group started the convoy in 2003, so it is one of our most successful and longest-running fundraisers for the Janeway. And it was designed to make the kids happy, make the kids who are too sick at the Janeway to go home, to be with their friends. So on the weekend of the telethon, the kids gather at the windows of the hospital. If they're well enough, they go out on the sidewalks, and then the convoy of trucks drive around, and it's just such an awesome spectacle to watch. And of course, the fundraising that happens among the trucking community with their families, truckers, the drivers, their kids, their businesses, their supporters, is just incredible. And everyone at the Janeway really sincerely appreciates it. So since 2003, the convoy has raised more than $560,000. This year, they're hoping to surpass $600,000, which is just incredible when you think about how much impact and significance that has for the hospital. So thank you to Just for Kids Transportation Group, to the trucking community, the drivers, the supporters. So here in St. John's, and of course on the West Coast as well, they started about 10 years ago. So we thank you all. Thank you for your support, and have an awesome Teddy Bear Convoy 2022.
Phyllis Kinsman from the Janeway Foundation. Any idea how many trucks are going to participate this year? Or perhaps a better question is, what's the largest amount of trucks you've had participate in this campaign?
I believe, Brian, the largest number we've had would be pre-COVID right now, and we were up over, between the convoy on the West Coast and here on the East Coast, we were up over 120, 130 trucks. But at one point in St. John's, when we do the loop around the hospital, we actually had so many participants, we actually had to ask people when they done their first loop if they could just sort of bow out and allow other trucks to make the loop around the hospital. We had some 13 kilometers of trucks.
That's incredible.
Involved that year.
All right, so you have no idea year over year how many trucks are going to show up, do you?
Never know until the day of the convoy. It's always been a pretty emotional part for myself and John to stand there where we gather and look and wonder, and all of a sudden there's one, there's two, then there's 10 trucks come. And by the time we're getting ready to go do the convoy, like I said, it's nice to see such a significant number Like I said, 13 kilometres of trucks was probably the biggest we've had pre-COVID.
Okay, so just fill us in on how it's going to work this year. Where do you assemble and where do you go from there?
This year we've moved locations from what used to be the City Tire retread plant there on the highway. We moved to Akita Equipment Yard there next to Paddy's Pond. We'll assemble there and we'll leave and do the route from the hospital or to the hospital there out the outer ring road and down and circle the hospital a couple of times, and we'll disperse from there.
All right, so that is going to be on Janeway Telethon Day, which is coming up this Sunday, right?
Yes, on June the 5th. Yes.
All right. Charlie Smallwood and John Summers and all of the truckers who participate in the Just for Kids Transportation Group Teddy Bear Convoy. We're looking forward to it. Guys, thanks so much for speaking with me.
Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you, Brian. Thanks for having us.